we always are looking at security in this country, but in particular, the aspect of the alert by the American embassy in the first instance, and that sort of created a domino effect, and other people started, doing the same thing. And then our authorities, the president actually, summoned the security chiefs, and I imagine got a report from them. They would have reported to him, and then he would have added whatever he thought was necessary. So, Tony, in that light, I wanted to ask, following the meeting with the security chiefs, you saw the report we had at the beginning of the program, it looks as if our people are saying there's no cause for panic. Professionals are at their stations, from police to secret organizations to other security organizations. Everything that can be done is being done, and it's not as if we even needed the Americans to, tap us on the shoulder before we've done all of this. So would you say that there's every reason for us to be reassured that, look, we just have to be vigilant, but there's no reason to panic?
Yes, we have to be vigilant, and we have to be cautious. We also have to be very proactive, as it is now. That it didn't happen now does not mean it can never happen again. Now, what that means is this. As it is today, can we convince ourselves that the police and the military formation have the numerical strength to be able to combat whatever will come? Now, if the answer is yes, now can they also convince us that it will be minimal casualty? Now, that's also another aspect. Now, can they convince us that they don't really need the assistance of other non-paramilitary agencies? And to what extent can they now look inward and see how they can harness the potentials of maybe private security organizations or state-owned security organizations? It is high time that we begin to, be very realistic about the threat on ground to our nation called Nigeria. Because as we speak today, I said something. The Amotekun are saying, arm us. Ebebiagu are saying, arm us. JTF, the civilian JTF are saying, arm us. Why can't the government entrench this? I don't see anything wrong if you don't want to legalize individuals bearing arms. There is nothing wrong in when you have complementary security organizations funded by state with accurate record, be armed to be able to complement the effort of the police. They know the forest, they know their shrine, they know their bush, they know all their mountains better than a man that is coming from another region in the name of being an army or being a police officer or be a DSS officer. Why can't the government look inward and look at the possibility of saying, okay, let us even release AK-47s to all the Amotekun, all the civilian JTF, all the Bebiagus, and all the like, and let us improve, move from AK-47 to AK-49, a more sophisticated one. There is nothing wrong in that, because whether you like it or not, now you got a security alert that there may be an attack on Abuja. And as I speak today, the way terrorists operate is that that operation on itself is already automatically botched, except on the condition that the government security agency now went to sleep totally. If they did not go to sleep totally, it's understandable that they know that security will be utmostly at alert, so they will hold on until when they see any vulnerability, or alternatively, they will move to another jurisdiction, another region. So what is Lagos State doing, for example? If you look at the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road, look at a place like Kara, the bush there's already a settlement already coming up in an Ogun State axis of it on a major road that goes into Lagos State. Now, what are you going to tell me? Are you going to tell me government approved that the settlement should be there? Are you going to tell me that they know the numerical strength of those people that are settling there? Or are you going to convince me that that place is meant for cattle ranching? But you are seeing it every now and then, that there is already a settlement there, ongoing, and at a very sporadic speed. And that is a place that, if anything happens, it will cut off Lagos State from the whole of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And yet, you are looking at it. You don't need an American to come and tell you anything. You don't need any American to come and tell you that, look, there are certain places that certain structures and certain settlements should not be.
What do you think is the reason?
Because we politicize everything, we regionalize everything, we allow it to go until when there is casualty, it is at that point in time you now see government agencies, security agencies running up and down. Yet there are certain vulnerabilities, there are certain risks that are very obvious. You and I can see. You don't need to be a soothsayer. In some villages, there are settlements that are obvious. Even the villagers know that these people are not part of us, but they dare not talk. Now, what stops the government as we speak now? Not until it happens. Because these people have a central command. They all have phones. All they are waiting for is just for that command to be given. And when that command is given, the police has withdrawn guns and licenses from individuals that can defend themselves with the hope and mind that they can defend us. Yet they are aligned terrorists to settle down in villages, to settle down in suburbs, all over the country. I'm not even talking of Abuja. Abuja is safe and secure any day, anytime. I say Abuja is safe and secure any day, anytime. So the problem is not necessarily Abuja. And let me tell you, the terrorists are not even going to be looking at Abuja. Once they are able to dissipate and decentralize all your sub-regions and all your other localities and the like, Abuja itself will come down. And that is what government should understand. Better than the threat of America telling us that something is going to happen. Whether they tell us something is going to happen or not, something is already happening. And if something is already happening, what is the government doing? I'm talking about being proactive. I'm talking about going after them. I'm not talking about waiting until it happens at all. Because if we wait until it happens, it may be too devastating. It may be too late at that point in time. I give kudos to Lagos State. If for nothing, someone who has done excellently well in terms of banning Okada in some regions and in some local government in Lagos State, because Lagos State cannot afford to have a blast. It cannot afford to. Indeed. So for me, I see that as a very good proactive step, and I expect that we will take it around the whole of Lagos State. We will not die. If there's no Okada in Lagos State, nobody will die. We will adjust. It's just a matter of time. And it is always better off than having a group of miscreants that will come in bike and blow up a marketplace and blow up Third Mainland Bridge and go to a hospital and blow it up. And before you even gather to settle down, it's all over. Now, these are things that the terrorists are capable of doing. And that is why you yourself must take a very hard stance as it is. So for me, I think that government should be liberal. When Amotekun says we want to be armed, there is nothing wrong. You have a record of those that are members of Amotekun. You have a record of those that are members of government security agencies. Arm them. They will only complement it. Give them the rules and regulations.
But
give
as
them
you
the
know,
types of gun you want them to operate.
Tony,
and let them always come for regular training and that will solve it.